inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. I see the world through eyes covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah.
Empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly, and I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out. La 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 la, oh, oh. Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights, turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly, and I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh,
the roads we travel, the journey of our lives. Take another picture before we say goodbye. Arm in arm we're standing side by side. Memories fade but legends never die. One last time, let's live for something. I can feel my blood, it's rushing. This ain't goodbye, we'll be back someday. And we will find our own way, take control of our fate. And like a car with no brakes, crash and learn, make mistakes. And we'll be back one day. I got dreams, wanna go fast. Know this energy's here to last. Not a glass half full, overflow that. Gotta keep your eyes up on the prize. Only got one life, so it's worth a try. To find what makes you feel alive, that's the only way to live it right. And now we're all doing our own thing, but I'll never forget our glory days. My mind is full of the memories, yeah. And I'll never forget what they meant to me. Don't worry, we'll be back one day to celebrate our glory days. Although it's over now, don't let it get you down. We'll be back around. For now we can feel some sorrow. A new day, it starts tomorrow. We'll wake up, new dreams to follow. A new goal and brand new motto. Last time, let's live for something. I can feel my blood, it's rushing. This ain't goodbye, we'll be back someday. And we will find our own way, take control of our fate. And like a car with no brakes, crash and learn, make mistakes. And we'll be back one day.
Hi. So I'm Abhishek.
Hello.
Hi. So we welcome all the viewers to 28th Chessbrainz Club Arena. We have Coach Muskan with us today. Hi, Muskan.
Hello. How are you?
I'm just fine, ready to just see how the kids are going to perform today.
Okay.
All right. So before we dive in, we are going to give some puzzles for the kids to solve. Let us go. Okay, so the first puzzle is coming from a mate in two position, and we are playing with white pieces here. So we want all the viewers to engage in this warm-up session before you actually go and fight in the tournament in the arena. I think this puzzle looks really, really easy. Have you found the answer till now? Okay, so I think we have no one in the chat till now, but let us reveal the answer. People will surely tune in. So the queen is going to take the pawn on g6, which will force the king to step in the corner. And can you tell us the mate in one here? Hello, coach. Can you tell us the mate in one?
Yeah, sure. It's queen to g7 and it's a checkmate.
That's correct. Yes. So this puzzle is done. So viewers, again we have a checkmate in two moves, and this time we are playing with the black pieces. Can you find the answer? Let us see who finds the checkmate in two here from the black pieces right now. Parents, if you are watching the stream, please encourage the kids to do a small more warm up before the actual tournament begins. Also, Muskan, I just wanted to ask, how do you prepare before going into your tournaments?
Mostly, mostly I check on the openings and solve tactics and all. So this is how I prepare just before the tournaments, and like 1 month before any important tournament, I go through many theories, many notations, and all various topics are there which we need to do it. Like there are many things in technical terms, so we do that in 1 month. But if a person is playing a tournament like a day before, they should just solve tactics and they should just see the openings that they are but that they particularly play.
That is actually correct. The regular practice is the key to win games. And as you said, the opening, tactics, strategy, end games, a lot of things comes into the real picture as we go in a tournament. Okay, can we reveal this mate into? Can you find the first move for black here?
Yeah, I think it's a g3. That is a
G3. The
force
king
move
is,
here.
yes, the G3 is forcing the king to step back on the first rank.
Yeah, and then I think it's rook to f1 and checkmate.
Yes, the game is over for the white. Okay, so we have got no one who has done it till now. In this position, we are playing with the white pieces, and we have to perform a mate in two here. So let us see which of the viewer finds the answer first. Audience, it's a challenge for all of you. If you know a bit of chess, try to solve this puzzle. And I really found this puzzle to be very much interesting.
Quite interesting. So many options are there for white to play.
Yes,
There are no one force move. There are quite a few force moves. So kids need to see all of them and then figure out the
that is
correct
correct.
one.
True. Let us see which kid finds it first. I really want to see who is actually prepared before the real tournament. Last time I remember there was a kid named as Kailash. He was really active in the chat, and then his performance was setting up with his practice. He performed like how he, involved into the puzzles, and when he went into the tournament, he was a different kid.
Great. So is there anyone who got the answer? Or
Let
am I
us
the one who is practicing?
Not really sure. But yes, this one is a tricky puzzle and it's a challenge for all of our viewers. Let's see who can find it first. We are just 8 minutes away from the tournament getting started, and I'm really keen to see what the kids are going to bring up today.
Yeah, even I'm excited today.
Yeah, I think it is for the very first time for our viewers meeting you. Can you tell something about yourself to our viewers?
Okay, so I am Muskan. So I started playing chess back in 2016, and I'm also from the northeastern part of India. And I would also like to say that I'm a state women champion from the state of
Oh,
Tripura. And yeah, currently, like recently in the month of August, I got my senior national arbiter license as well. So this is pretty much about me.
wow, that's really good to hear. I'm very sure it is going to be your analytics are really going to help our kids also when they will come back to the stream, when they will see how they could have played better. I think your insights are going to give us a real value today.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it's time to reveal the answer. So when I look at this puzzle, there are a few forcing moves in the position. There is definitely one of the main moves is knight f6, knight g5, rook h8. There are three moves which are a check. So when we talk about checkmate, check is an integral part of it. So you cannot skip on checks. Now, if we play knight f6, the knight is simply going to get captured either by the rook or by the pawn. So it doesn't seem right to me. Rook to h8, okay, it's a good move. You give up the king, you bring it out, you make it exposed on the 8th rank, but we have no follow up to it. But knight to g3 or knight to g5 works like a charm here. Why? Because we know that the king is in a mating net already. King cannot go to the g8, h8, as the rook is covering the squares pretty well. Now, when we play knight g5, our opponent is forced to capture our knight using the pawn. And once they do, the h file is open for our rook to come and conquer over the king. Once he comes in, it's a checkmate. Let us go to
Yeah,
the next
the
puzzle and
triple
see.
pawn is like blocking the king totally from moving towards the other side.
Yes, your own teammates becomes your own enemy. That's
Yeah, so
correct.
kids just avoid making triple or double pawns in the board.
That is really, really true. So we are with our next puzzle. We are playing with the black pieces, and we have to perform a checkmate in two move. Viewers, if you know the answer, please type it in the chat. Kids, if you are engaging in the tournament, ensure you solve some puzzles for your calculation before going in a real game. I'll be back in the moment. Okay, so I think no one has found it. Is that really difficult to solve? That's my first question. Have you found an answer?
I got the answer already.
Okay. Can you give a small hint to our viewers? I
I
think
think,
they're finding
yeah,
it very difficult.
they need to know how to do a checkmate with two rooks. That might be helpful. Like they
Okay,
should
let's
know the
see.
pattern to solve it.
That's
And
correct.
also, whether it's a checkmate in two, checkmate in one, whatever it is, always try to figure out the forcing moves first.
Yes. Okay, so we have got one response right now. Let us see if that is correct. Queen takes, queen captures rook. Okay, I don't know if there's something like that. Are you willing to capture the bishop? I don't think if that's an answer. Oh, that is. Wow. Can our viewers find a checkmate in one now? Good, Hemant. You have came up with the right answer. Okay, I see a very old pattern which is going to get the checkmate here. Let's see who finds it.
Just figure out the possible check in this position and you are just good to go.
Yes. There is one check which works and one doesn't. Let us see what answers are we going to get. Okay, Hemant has came up with the final blow as well. So when the rook is going to capture on h2, it's going to give complete checkmate to the white's king. And this is where the fun begins. Let us head to the last puzzle of today before we dive into our tournament. Okay, we are playing with black's pieces, and we have to deliver a checkmate in two moves on the white king. Okay, this doesn't look difficult at all. Hi, 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 all of you. So let us see who is going to give us the right answer at this point. Hemant has came up with an answer again, and even Anup is actually ahead in the race. Queen captures on g3, checking the king. Queen is forced to intervene here, and then your bishop and queen finishes the game off in style, and it's a checkmate in two. Very good, Anup and Hemant. You have found the right answers, and now it's time to go to the time we have all been waiting for. Our tournament is now live. Parents, we are going to request you to put your kids username in the chat so we can just take you through their games and we can provide some insights on it. Okay, so in the meantime we can take on the game that is currently going on. So Sankeet is playing with the black pieces against Shah chess. They are playing as white, and we see some quick moves coming up on the board. The game started with queen's pawn, and we have the Slav on the board at this point. Okay, would you prefer exchanging your bishop for a knight in this position or not? What is your take on that?
I wouldn't do that.
Exactly. It is not the best move in the position because your opponent will have a four pawn structure next to the king, which will not only increase the king's safety, but you lose a long range weapon for a short range weapon, and this helps your opponent to develop faster. So definitely, maybe this would have avoided. And this pawn on c5 looks a real monster here because it is gaining a lot of space on the queen side. And white is already looking fine here. I mean, black is yeah, white is looking fine pretty well. Black is looking to challenge the space expansion of white. Do you suggest moving your kids, moving too many pawns in the opening?
Never. Because pawn is the piece that cannot move backward once it moves. So we should be very mindful while moving the pawns.
Exactly, just doesn't look right at all. Like, okay, there's a few moves have been played apart from that. Now, black's king can struggle to find a good safe side for castling. And okay, so here, basically, black got a pin in the position with the queen, and then they brought the bishop into the battle and exploitation of the pin, and white has lost a piece in the game. And now black is looking to simplify this position further. It has got simplified after a forced queen trade, and after the rook fork, the bishop has fell, and I think black is in a completely winning situation by this point.
Yeah.
I don't even think if black needs to castle at this point, I guess.
Black just need to play nicely and stop giving the blunders. If black can
That's
do that,
true.
he or she can win that easily.
That is correct. So by this point, we see, I think it's more about just simplifying the position, exchanging pieces, and getting a solid, endgame which
Yeah.
works towards your side. I think that's how I can sum it up, and I think it's pretty much over here. We can take on the first request, I guess. We are getting a request for Arya Sharma. We are going to take their game. I think black is definitely going to win this. So when we look at this position, the first thing is Arya is having an unestablished rating right now. She's playing black, so it looks like she's new to chess. Against Neve, they are from white. They're playing from white team, and they also have an unestablished rating. So I guess they are at the early stage of their career right now. We'll see how are they making out of their current game. Okay, I think black tried an early checkmating attack, but they forgot to count the number of attackers and defenders to the d2 pawn, and that was one of the thing which took their queen down. And white got a free queen at in the opening itself. What would you suggest when you look at these type of game?
Now just try to save your king as much as possible because a queen is important. Like it can make or break the game. So
That is actually correct. A queen can add like a lot of value, right? And
yeah, even
what
if
would you
there was
suggest?
a yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, like, why the kids are playing like this, and what is the way to fix this problem that we are currently witnessing in the game of these two players?
I think right now they are just beginner. They will be making such mistakes. Slowly, they will improve. I think more and playing more and more games, practicing nicely at home. Not the blitz one, but with 15 plus 10, 15 minutes, 10 seconds increment, so that they would get that time to think. And yeah, slowly they will for sure improve it.
I think that's pretty much yes. I think they need to work out the opening principles, and
Yes,
maybe that will add a
definitely.
bit more value. Like here, when we see the trades, maybe when the kid goes through their session, when we tell them about the value of pieces, right? Then these kind of exchanges are not expected actually. So I think they should check the move twice, and before making the move, they should think if they are making a move which will help them or which will make their position bad. Maybe like checking their move can help them to fix these sort of problems, and that is like one way. Now here the knight has got blundered on f7 at this point because queen can just simply take.
But why didn't
Also we
saw
see
that?
there's a mate in one coming in, right?
Yeah, yeah,
There's like
that's a maiden
the
one.
queen is going to come on c6. Let's see how quickly white can find this.
Now,
Because
okay, now it would be a mate in two.
yes, now the knight can intervene in the way. And black figured out that they were running into a mate in one, so they thought of somehow keeping their king up on the board, which is a good deal by the king. They recognized the threat and they tried saving the
Yeah.
king.
I think even now white captures the knight would be a winning one. They should be just simplifying the position or just bring out the rook that is at the h1 and
Can
try
you?
to create.
Okay, this is a blunder. Yeah, yes. I mean, they played the knight, but actually there was a fork from knight d3, but eventually it doesn't work
Yeah,
because your opponent just gets your knight, right?
yeah. And now I think again there's a mating threat. White is just missing out on that.
That's true. Now, queen c6 is the way to go here. And position is simply going to go to their side. The game will end. Okay, let us see how quickly they can find it. It is important to play the forcing moves as you stated earlier, like checks, captures, and threats. If you
Yeah,
just go with even the checks, there is a very high chance you will end up achieving a checkmate. They have given a check now. Rook intervention on d5 is there, and then queen captures rook. The game is off. White has
yeah.
finally figured it out how to complete this game. So I think they just need to play a bit slower, check their move twice, and their coaches are always there to make them better. They are at the early stage of their career, as you said. So it will take some time to get better, obviously. Okay, we haven't got any requests so far. So again, we are going to feature a random game. Can you pick up a random username from this page, please?
I would go for Arna Dhruvan, 22 number game.
Sure. So Arna is playing with the pieces of black against Nishal. They are playing with white. And we see that Nishal is already under extreme time pressure at this point. They just have 24 seconds left, no increment. We need to see how good are they in managing the time pressure. Also, when we look at the game, white is a rook down at this point, and
And
black has
black is
settled a.
given, yeah, mating threat.
That is correct. Okay, white is trying to maintain their time and trying to save the checkmate together. Even at this point, okay, fine. It is just about
Just,
like trying to trade down.
yeah,
Yeah.
just trade it and then every threat would be stopped.
Also, like the kid is left with only
Now
4 seconds.
oh God.
Okay, white is trying their best to fight time, but I think time is the real MVP in this game. And
Now I think
Arna,
in this position, white was better because the rook is attacking the b7 pawn, and if white could get a bit of time, white could win this match.
definitely. But probably Arna must be knowing that thing, and she decided to just play a bit fast and try to flag down the opponent. Because these are
Yeah,
again all tactics and the part of the game which we all have to go
yeah.
through. Yes. So yeah, let's take another random game quickly. Parents, please drop your kids' username in the live chat so we can feature their game to you. Let's take the game of Raghav Sharma. Okay, they're not paired against anyone till now. How about Arav? Let's take their game. So, Arav is playing with the black pieces and Parth is playing with the white pieces right now. It has just been a normal opening, but I see this F pawn is not so common in these positions. Okay, can you find the best move in this position for black?
Black could just play, I think, queen to e7.
Queen e7 is one of the good ways to play here. Also, we can also think for queen d4 as well with the idea of bishop c5 as well. So these are some very solid moves that work in the position. Queen e7 can block the development of bishop, but it doesn't really matter. So any of these moves stand pretty well, and the kid found it. Queen e7 was played in the position. Knight again got strengthened, and knight captured the pawn e4. Castle was there. Okay, the dark square bishop has a it had a tough time. The black decided to exchange the pair of knights, ruining the pawn structure of white here. And then the piece kept on getting developed in the position. There was a castle. The game is still okay. Would you prefer trading down the pair of your queen here?
Mm, honestly, I would just trade it off because my king is quite open in the position, so threat might come from any of the square. So trading off the queen could help me.
That is correct, but I was just wondering that this can give an open file to the white rook, right?
Doesn't matter, we can just play the bishop to d7 and both the rooks are connected, and then we can just get the file back.
That is correct. So we can have that idea of rook e8, right?
Yeah.
At some point, we
Actually,
can look to yes.
now I think we should capture the knight and then we should save this b7 pawn. This b7 pawn is hanging.
That is correct. The rook is aiming down on the b7. A couple of moves has been already played by the
Yeah.
time, and I'm just scrolling a bit because we were again seeing how that game has, how it has got
Yeah.
structured. So yeah, now we see. I
But
think
now, yeah, the
black is
white rook is
slightly better.
white rook is very active right now.
Yeah, white rook is active, and black is somehow trying to here, trying to neutralize that. But again, white also has a passer along the e file, right?
Hmm.
Which can make a difference in the position. There's always idea of rook g7 whenever some checks are required. So yes, this game is going to play a huge role right now.
Now this is a clear pass pawn. No one can stop it if they play well.
Yes. Also, this bond between the bishop
Also,
and the pawn,
yeah.
that looks really
And
solid
also
actually.
there is an open file for the white rook, that is the B file. They can just go to the B file and start attacking the black, and black would be finished off.
And in the meantime, black has also ended up winning the a2. They also have a rook file passer, so we need to see how this game takes a shape after this.
That white rook to E2 was not a good move actually, because the rook is
Yes,
now
actually.
totally blocked.
The plan is to get your rook on the open file, quickly, shift their rook into the opponent's kingdom, as you stated, right? Like these are
Yeah.
the ways how you can quickly take the momentum to your side. But again, I'm just thinking, what was the main purpose of rook to e2? And here, white played the bishop to b8 with the idea of taking the a7 pawn, and black played rook c4, gaining a tempo on the rook at this point.
Okay.
Rook e3 doesn't look good. Now, rook e8 was played in the position, but a7 is off the game. So passer is gone. And again, white is, I think, back in the game. Bishop e6 on the board. I think there is also a threat of back rank. If black is not preparing anything, you should also look for these kind of, I know that's a minute weakness, but it sometimes makes difference, especially in the time pressurizing games. So you should
Exactly.
definitely give it a try.
Actually, and the black is trying that.
Yes, black is actually trying to go with the idea of rook a1, rook e1, and then let's see if yes. And white was keen. They was on time to figure that threat, and they have defended. I think now maybe the plan of black is to go rook to c1 and start attacking the weak pawns. Maybe that can be one of the plans because the passer has been blocked by a very good minor piece here. The bishop is doing its work and still preventing the pawn from advancing further. I certainly believe even this can be one of the ways to play here.
Yes. Black has saved the position. That Now I don't think. Let's see what would happen.
We'll just see. Okay, I think white
Now it's
white
kind of
is,
impossible to save it.
yeah, that is now going to fall for sure. And also, one of the main ideas in the end game is to centralize your king. Look to centralize your king within one of these two boxes, and you might make a difference. Now, black can always think of moving their king towards the center, and they can again look for capitalizing the position. Again, one thing we should not forget: Parth is almost an 800 and Arav is almost a 1200. So there's a huge rating gap between the elo of both the kids, and still I think
Yeah,
Parth has played pretty well. We don't see such kind of good games at 700, 800, right?
true.
I mean,
It was better
kids
for
like,
white at the beginning, right? So at the
true.
end, it may be the experience that the 1200 rated player is having, and that made him win the match.
Also, I'm just key. Oh, wait, what?
Okay.
Okay, Parth is into the time pressure. Actually, he's just
Yeah.
left with 13 seconds, so we can understand. Players at this level doesn't have good experience of handling the time, and they are fighting against the clock with their opponent as well. They have like two opponents to watch out for, and definitely that is one of the things. But again, the fact that Parth is participating in the tournament, collecting this experience, will definitely help him to get better in the coming time, right?
Yeah, sure. Now I think black should block. What was that? Okay. Black should just
Okay.
block the second rank and just start promoting the pawn. That would just make him win faster.
True. Like you just don't allow the king to, you just cut off the
Move
king from
forward.
accessing the rest of the part of the board and just get a queen. That's pretty good explanation for the end game. Okay, let us take on the request now. I think we have a few which we can take. We are getting the first request for Ryan Shine. The kid himself is asking to take their game, so we are going to take it. Okay, so Ryan is currently taking on Fardan. Fardan is playing black. Ryan is taking white. And when we look at this position, I think it's almost equal. But Ryan has an elo of 800. Fardan is again having an elo of 1200. So definitely, I think black is having good experience and good skill according to the number. But numbers are not everything all the time. So it might make a difference now. White has decided to move the knight forward and try to gain a tempo while threatening, the queen and the a7 pawn together. And black is in time to save both of it.
But black is having a semi-open file. He can just control that.
Yes. So rook to f8 is one of the plans here, as you said. Also, I would love to see this knight on d5 somehow, because this is like a temporary outpost that you can settle and you can start building some pressure along the king side.
But I think if knight play goes to d5, then knight to e7 has an option to exchange it, right?
That's correct. But again, we'll see how this game like takes a shape. Like especially when we see here knight to h3. Again, here the main plan for black is to come up with the minority attack as far as I remember. So pawn to g5, pawn g4, creating some weaknesses on the queen side, and then hunching on those weaknesses is the main plan. But I don't think, I mean, Fardan might be knowing he's at 1200, so he might be having this idea. Queen e6, then some moves have been played. Okay. Okay, both have isolated pawns, and black took it when gaining a tempo on the queen. Now it's white's turn. We need to see how white is going to make out of this position. Queen has moved on e2 at this point.
There's a threat on a2.
Yes. If you exchange, your opponent's inactive piece will get activated. So
Yeah.
definitely, I always suggest my students to not trade unnecessarily unless it really benefits you, and instead look to improve their pieces which are already in the position.
White is now controlling the D file, and
Yes,
I don't think that pawn to G4 was a good option here.
yes, that's what even I was thinking. Even this knight is now not doing anything like good in the position if you see.
Knight should go from the F2 and then start to play it. But
No, even
pawn to
f5 is
G4
there.
was a blunder kind of a thing. Not blunder,
That is
but not a
correct.
very good.
Oh,
Oh god.
so the queen was eyeing down the g4 pawn to the
Yeah.
knight. An opponent exploited the pin here, and white then figured out it's a pin which is being attacked. They just took the free pawn thinking black has made a mistake, and they ended up mistaking their own knight. So good tactical show by black here actually. I
Yeah,
think
white was making their own pin.
yes, that's correct. Okay, let us just roll a few moves back and quickly see what has happened. So, till, to the point we saw that the knight felt and black was already a piece up in the position. Then black got the pawn, and I think black had a good material advantage at this point. Black
Yeah,
then
and the
gave some
queen is
checks.
also very active. Queen can just
Yes,
gain few pawns over there, and that would be a clear winning
and
position for black.
black. Actually, how beautifully the king hunt has been taken place by the black here. They started hunting the white's king. It was out of the castle. They kept on chasing with a series of checks, and what a wonderful mate we see here.
Yeah, definitely.
So good game by Fardan here. Ryan, you just need to just gain more experience. I think you also played really well till that end game. But yeah, you can do more of tactical positions to fix your tactical game. We are getting a request for study Krish here. We'll just see if no, they are not a part of the tournament. Okay, so now we are getting a request for Sonic Knight, which is like a cool name. So let's see what Sonic has brought up. So the Sonic Knight is taking on Ryanch at this point. Sonic is playing white. Ryanch is playing with the black pieces. There is a minute difference in the elo of 100 points. And look at the white's activity at this point.
Even black side is also better. Wait, I think white is having a piece up. Yeah.
White is also a piece up, and like they have centralized all of their pieces to,
Yeah, and
let
that's a
their pieces
fork.
flow throughout the board. Yeah. Okay, there's a fork in the position. We'll just see now how what is white going to respond at this point. So would you save your knight in this position or the bishop? That's one of the questions I would like to have.
I would save my bishop in this position.
Okay. I think the knight is surely going to fall.
Yeah, because right now the position is kind of open and bishop will perform better in this position. So I will definitely keep my bishop.
Exactly. Also, black is trying to create some play along the king side. We see there is a hook pawn, so say we might see some sacrifice on h3. Currently, the queen is in danger, obviously, so that will make a difference. But yeah, there is idea of bishop takes h3 at some point, and yeah, things will change. Okay, what a good skewer by black here, saving the by white here, saving the position and pushing the queen back to back foot.
That's a blunder.
Exactly, but like okay, so queen to g3 is a blunder, right?
Yeah,
Because now you have no way to save. But ideally, when you look to attack the king side, it's quite obvious for the kids at this level to play such kind of moves.
yeah,
Even that's
definitely.
like again, they can calculate a bit further, but at their current strength, I guess it's a very natural thing that we are going to see in a lot of kids at this point. And then there is a black
There's
responded back with
another
a pin.
another
Yeah.
threat. Both are
Also,
playing equally good.
yes. And white has tried. I think white wants to intervene with bishop f3, but that doesn't
But
work after bishop
doesn't
captures
work.
f3. Okay, what is going in the white's mind? Are they trying to like gain a tempo on the queen?
Why the bishop haven't captured the rook at e2? They could have done that,
Definitely,
right?
they're increasing the pressure along the pin piece, but that's not needed. You take
Yeah,
five,
just
you give three, and
capture
you are
it
already up in the material.
and play a safe game. That's all.
Wait, and what is white trying to do? Okay, they are going for sort of counter attack, but now bishop captures can be one of the ideas here because you gain a tempo on the queen, so your opponent can't take the rook at that point as the queen is
Yeah.
going to get attacked. Again, kids do
Or
counter
even
attack.
rook to e2 is another threat. Rook to e2, then rook can go to g2. There is a bishop behind it, and the queen would be under a threat.
Yes, that is there. There can be a sort of discovery in the position too.
Yeah.
Even that is a very powerful move because that again sets up more pressure on g2 in the future after the bishop moves. But yeah, okay,
Now, obviously, they should save the rook.
yes. Okay, yeah, I think we have a guest joining in with us. He's none other than Coach Rajesh. He'll be there with us within just like next couple of minutes. Thank you so much, Coach Muskan, for sharing your insights. I'm sure.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you so
for
much for
having
making this
me.
evening good for all of us. And your analytics, your insights will help our students to get better at the game. And yeah, thank you so much. Do you have any message for our viewers through this platform?
Yeah, just practice well, stick to the basics, whatsoever the reason is. Like, always look for the open files, basic checks, and forcing moves. These are the basic things you should never forget in a tournament or in a match. That's all.
That
If
is
you stick to
absolutely
the
correct.
if you stick to the basic, you can play a better match or even a good match, no matter what.
Yes, it's
Okay.
practice and your experience that makes you good. Thank you so much, Coach Muskan, again for sharing the platform. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Hi, Coach Rajesh.
Hello, hi. How are you?
I'm just doing fine, and we all were waiting for you as well. So currently, the Sonic Knight and Ryansh are taking on one another, and it's a beautiful tactical fight which is going on the board at this point.
It looks great. I think black is having extra material, but the two bishops
Yes.
could prove very powerful for white too. So we have to check what's happening. Is my video visible by the way? I think there's
Oh
some
no! Can you please
problem.
get your video rolling?
Yeah, I'm trying to open it, but it's showing the browser is not allowing.
You can set the permissions. And
Yeah.
when we look at this current position, I think Black has made a blunder. There was
Oh,
no
he
need
gave a
to
free
get the rook
rook.
on d8. Yes,
Okay.
bishop captures rook, and boom.
Yes.
Even
Yep.
though
Bishops could
Sonic
be
Knight
very
is an
tricky pieces.
extreme, yeah, and even though Sonic Knight is playing in an extreme time pressure, still the kid figured out the right opportunity and capitalized on it. I would love to see if Sonic can convert this game into a complete victory. I was about to say that, and Black has came up with a wonderful checkmate. So, what happened in the position as White moved a lot of pawns off their castle on the board that made some problem, and suddenly the queen came in with a check. The bishop was there to cover some squares, and maybe the white could have played king to f2. That could have been a better move, but they did played it. Queen check, white goes back. Another check comes in, and the game was over. Black managed to pull up a beautiful checkmate. So even though we see that white managed to win a complete rook in the position, but that was not enough. if you checkmate your opponent, it doesn't matter how much material you have. This is a very good example of playing for good position than playing for good material. Okay, let us go further in the journey. Let's take on the next request. We are getting a request for Atvik right now. All right. So Atvik is playing with the white pieces and Rohan is playing with the black pieces at this point. It's a two rook endgame, so it is going to be really, really a fun game to see. Now, at this point, what is the thing that is currently making the difference in the position is, oh wow, what a good game. The coach Rajesh is going to join us within the next couple of minutes. Okay, so again, white managed to win a passer on the a2 at this point, and the position is looking very solid for both the players. I think white is a pawn up. They might end up winning this rook endgame if they play it properly. All right. So for now, what white needs to do, they need to somehow trade down their pair of rooks. So black doesn't have anything to stop the extra pawn of white from promoting. And here, by mistake, white has played pawn g4 trying to trade down, but they forgot they have left their rook undefended and black was in time to catch it. I think black is now the one who is looking to win this game. And black has performed a wonderful checkmate with one king and one rook. Now, I would also like to add one more thing at this point. This was a zugzwang position where when black played rook to d6, white did not had a lot of options on the board. Their king cannot go to the g3, g4, g5 because black king covered all these squares. The pawn can't advance on h4. So white was forced to play pawn to h6. And what a zugzwang made coming by the black here. Wonderful game by Rohan here, completely outplaying Atvik here. That one small mistake took the whole game away from Atvik. So good game by both the players. Okay, let us quickly take a look at our leaderboard. Madhav is on the 10th position with 8 points. Shah Chess on the 9th with 8 points. Livanish 8th with 10 points. Fardan on the 7th with 10 points. Gregory on the 6th with 11 points. Sankeet on the 5th position, 11 points. Daishnavi on the 4th position, 12 points. Kailash on the 3rd position, 14 points. Iban on the 2nd position, 20 points. Afnan on the 1st position, 31 points. Afnan has a solid lead throughout this tournament because this kid is on the streak of 7 games in a row. And every single player who came against him, he has managed to win him. Let's try to take one of the recent games of this kid and see how that game has went so far. So the last game Afnan had was against Livanish. Afnan was playing black, Livanish was playing white. And we had the traditional Italian on the board. The position was flourishing in the opening. The break that white gave in the position wasn't the best move here because black was attacking it thrice, white was guarding it twice. So that created a problem, and now white is going to lose a pawn in this process. So it was a miscalculative approach with the center break here, and then black tried playing. I think black was in time to win that. Something took place here at this point. White attacked this pawn twice, and I think black had no way to save it twice. I certainly believe that. Okay, but when this knight moved, the pawn on e4 weakened, and there could have been idea of knight captures e4 in the position. There was a bishop exchange. Generally, we don't suggest these kind of exchanges on the board because if you exchange, your opponent will just make a recapture and their rook is coming to the life, while your rooks are still going to be inactive. So generally, if you allow your opponent to exchange and if you just take back, your pieces are going to improve. So you shouldn't be trading if you are not getting any good advantage in the position. I'm also not a big fan of c5 type of moves. Moving too many pawns weakens the friendly pawns and create weak squares in your kingdom. So currently the d5 square is weakened. The d6 pawn is a backward pawn in the position. So again, moving too many pawns is not a suggestion when you play openings. The rook went on e1 at this point, setting up a pin, and if this pawn was meant to be taken by the black, they would have taken it with queen instead of the knight. Because when you put a smaller piece in front of a bigger one, your opponent can set a tactical pin on you and it's already being pressed by the queen. One of the ideas is to go f5, which black tried, but after f3, the knight is falling apart. Also, in the time, white figured out a wonderful skewer in the position at the same time. And it was not so wonderful because suddenly the queen comes out of the pin and black was attacking the square twice, and that's what white miscalculated. The kid had around 4 minutes at this point, and they could have taken a bit more time and played without spamming the moves on the board. And now suddenly black is better because they have an extra knight. So I think it was a very fighting game when we see, but now black is completely fine in the position. White is trying to dominate with a good activity with the idea of rook captures g7, king h8, rook h7, king g8, and then rook. The other rook coming to g7 is going to be a maiden 3. But suddenly, black was the one who made a battery in the position and delivered a wonderful back rank. So kudos to black for winning this position. What white could have still done better in this position? I think there was the only way to win was to get the rook on d7, but that was not currently possible because the knight was covering these two important squares. So the strategy that I said will not work to the point knight is standing here. So they could have looked to play some idea like g4, trying to get some trades and trying to deflect the knight away. And then with the idea of rook d7, this position would have worked out for them. Okay, so a wonderful show by Afnan here. Again, he was a bit shaky, but Livinesh wasn't able to convert it completely and it went against him. Now we are into the last 20 minutes of this tournament. I'm going to take a random username. Okay, viewers, I want you to help me out with one small thing. Can you pick up a random username from this list, please? Just type a random username you see on the screen and we are going to feature their game. The lucky ones are going to get featured from us. Okay. Let us take the game of Heenal. So Heenal is playing as black. Arna is playing as white. When we look at this game, the first thing I want to see is what is the material and the current positioning on the board, the king's safety. These are few things we look when we look at a position. And when we see that currently white, I think both have equal material, but black is having a pair of bishops. Now, a pair of bishops is generally a good thing when the position is open. So definitely, I think black is slightly better in the position here. Also, currently the pawn on f2 is pinned to the king. Black played bishop to d6 with the idea of pushing the pawn to e4, and the bishop is now x-raying through their pawn to the queen, setting up a discovered attack. And now black will play pawn to e4, and that will put the white knight and queen in danger together. Okay, so Rajesh is back with us. He's ready. Can you see this discovered attack coming up in the position? Oh, but black missed
No.
it.
Okay, so white has played bishop takes h6. Okay,
No,
interesting.
black
So,
was in time to play bishop d6, and I
oh,
genuinely
okay.
thought they are willing to
This
push with e4, trying to win
okay.
material. But then they
So
played
he played
queen
queen
f5.
f5. Hmm. Queen f5 in particular doesn't do much from what I believe. But okay, now white is the one who is planning a checkmate, and black went back to defend the g7 pawn. Okay.
Yes.
But as you
Okay.
mentioned, I think the position would have been different for black if black had played pawn to e4. It looked like a very nice move.
Yeah, it was a move that they could have tried. I think knight is now behind the queen again and again. So we'll see some good thing coming up. Queen went on h5 and bishop has again been played by the black here, white here to set up that queen helper mate. It is quite evident that white is trying everything to achieve the mate even after black queen is being around.
That's true.
And also, this was
Okay.
a wonderful way to not only settle the mate, but also to put more pressure on the e5 pawn, which was one of the tension for white, I guess. And black decided to capture this, okay, but you shouldn't be trading when you have less material. Your opponent is going
That's
to
true.
improve you.
Yes. Oh, is that a free bishop?
Another
Yes.
blunder.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
I
white
think
should
black
be
has a bit of
comfortable.
time. White should be
Yes.
comfortable here, converting this. Again, you
Uh,
see that white is saying knight to f5 and threatening a mate again. What is your take?
yes.
And forcing the queen to just
It's
come
like
back.
white is going with one specific plan and he's not willing to back down. He's just going with the same plan. Oh, there
I
might be
mean,
some interesting ideas now.
yes, that's correct. Because after king going, there is
Queen
definitely
h6 is there.
queen
We can
h6 is
survive.
there. Yes,
Oh, but I think after queen takes queen,
knight
pawn takes
g6.
queen, there is knight g6 or direct knight g6 is also
Direct
fine.
knight g6 is also
Yes.
fine, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
what a
I thought of
move!
taking the
And
queen first because after queen takes queen, we have to double the pawns. So I
yes,
thought that we could take it. Now, if he plays knight takes rook, black has the option of playing queen takes queen. It doesn't matter because white has too much material here.
yes,
So,
but in terms of accuracy, I think queen captures queen, and then as you said, knight g6 was a better way to make the same game. But that is also one saying in chess, right? If you have too much of material advantage, minute mistakes will not make a big difference, unfortunately, right?
yes, that is true. Yes. Oh,
Small
white
things will
can.
not change
Yes,
much. Yeah, I mean,
that's
again,
true.
black is trying to play aggressive, but
Yes, I
anyways, I
mean, we
mean,
never
again,
know. There might
like
be a back rank mate for
I
black,
was
but
just
yeah,
thinking
again, the
about
same
this.
mate. Yes, I think in this game, if you notice it very clearly, white has
Yes,
threatened the checkmate on g7 with the bishop and queen, the knight and queen, and now the rook and queen.
rook
He
and
tried
queen.
all the possible combinations. Maybe one
Yes.
day he'll push the h pawn and try pawn and queen.
And do you
That's
see
the
this
only
sort
thing
of
left.
positional bind, which is forcing the queen back for the second time after an aggressive
Yes,
approach?
true.
What a
Yes,
solid positional bind here by the white. And I think white is just on next level. I mean, they're
probably
playing a
true.
very solid chess. We don't see at 1100 kids are being like so much, tuned towards achieving
Precise.
just the mate and that's a good
Yes.
approach actually. Now there's the
That is
idea
good.
of rook to g4.
No. But rook g4 could result in queen to c1 check, and that would change the tables
Oh,
for black. So if
oh,
black is sneaky,
correct.
okay, he's trying to do something. I would have pushed another pawn just to wait to see what white would do.
What
Just
white
hope
does.
for
Because
some.
after the
Yes.
rook left, even I had the same I thought of, the
Yes.
same as I mentioned. I mean, I know it's a blunder, but then again, I just overlooked that. I was tunnel vision here. And yeah, okay. I mean,
Well, I
now
mean, white
still the
looked
threat is in the
very
air.
promising. Oh, he played h3. Okay, he stopped all the
Wow.
threats. Okay,
Yeah, they are
so
in time to stop it.
yes. That's pretty amazing play for 1100, noticing all the threats. Usually at this rating level, many people tend to get too excited with the attack and they just ignore opponent's threats. So h3 is a very important move for white.
Yes.
And yes, as you mentioned, I think
Also,
rook d4. Oh, okay.
I think
All right.
Black got tired of the mating attacks and they decided to exchange sacrifice and
Yes, finally. Yes.
get a bit more life for their king, I guess. Yeah,
Okay, but that
good
was an
game,
excellent
but
game. Yes,
yeah, I think White just showcased beautiful positional play in this game, I guess.
that's true.
Okay, I think the game has been phenomenal. Viewers, please like, subscribe to the channel, like the stream if you haven't, and yeah, please give your kids username in the chat so we can feature their games. Obviously, we are in the last 13 minutes of this tournament, and let's see how this is going to turn completely. Again, I think Afnan is having a solid lead of 34 points, so it might be difficult for other players to catch it. Iban is coming in. He has won all the games in a row, and he's taking on Madhav. So he's going to feature his game because hasn't lost a single game till now.
No,
Madhav
okay.
is a 1000 playing white. Iban is playing black, us almost 1800 here. There's a
Yes,
huge rating difference of 750 points.
true. He has to be careful to. Okay, queen to g3,
Yeah.
and it is. Yeah, okay, that is
Oh,
game over.
Iban is completely outplayed. But I would still like to see how Madhav ran into such kind of difficult position. So let's just try to roll back and try to pick up the key moment of the game. So we had this Caro advance on the board, and then
Okay. So white played regular opening moves, which is not very specific with the advanced Caracan variation, but he
yes,
tried to develop normally, and I think black got a very stable position here. He could make a break with pawn to e5 in the future, and he has a stable
yes,
center. Yes. And if
especially
you
the knight on
notice, yeah,
d7. Yeah, yes.
yeah, white hasn't castled yet. So he has to watch out for a lot of queen a5. Yep. Hmm.
Okay.
Queen a5
So now the
is
kid, beautifully made those weaknesses, and he then
true.
tried hunching upon them, and he castled. Black was also in
c5
time to
and
take a break. C5 is also like
yes,
very structured and strategic
might
break.
take c5. Yes, true. Hmm. Okay.
I think the kid has came up with a solid preparation.
Yes, true.
And look at the fork. I mean, again, it can be
Yes.
blocked with the queen
Queen,
d2,
yes.
which white did,
Queen e2,
but
king
black would
takes
look to
e2. Knight
exchange.
takes.
Yeah.
Yes, true.
Also, the bishop is hanging, I guess. Yeah. I mean, they were supposed to recapture, but fine. And
Hmm.
the black is playing with the idea of having those passers maybe in the position and more pawns. Yeah. Okay, so white took the pawn on g5, which wasn't the best idea because now if you take my 1 point, I'm going to take your 3 in the position. And that's what black did. Now black is completely winning this with an extra piece, and again pawns are equal, but then black has a passer, so that just significantly makes a difference of getting that extra queen in their team.
Okay.
And here black played knight to d4. Oh wow, what a
So
beautiful play by the kid.
after
Can
yes,
you
after knight, yeah, after knight takes d4, the queen is unstoppable. Yes, so he's basically removing the defender here. So this is an amazing move.
what a tactical game by this
And
kid.
now knight takes
And
c2. Yes.
yes, instead of
Yes.
taking the knight, which is like many kids have tried, even if they were trying this approach, he's going for a
Mm,
fork on the rooks plus strengthening his promotion on the board.
that's
What a
true.
wonderful play by this kid.
Yes.
Wow.
And then he still has knight c2 again, and
Still he has
yes,
knight c2. What a
yes,
wonderful calculation.
this is just
Completely showing why he is almost an 1800.
yes. The funny part is he didn't get any increase in rating for winning the game. It's just +0.
But I
So
guess the experience will still add up on his profile in his
that is
overall chess
definitely
journey.
true. Well, I
So
actually think
yes.
that it's a little bit unfair for higher rated players to get 0 points to win games. At least a +1 or +2
At
would
least plus
suffice.
one is what they deserve because a win is a win at the
Yes,
end, right?
true,
True. I
exactly.
completely agree with you on that one.
So, okay,
Okay,
so
there's a kid, and a kid is saying that I've defeated Afnan number one. So let's see who has defeated of Afnan. Mm, Ryan, and 800 has defeated
Oh,
a 1400, and the kid has
okay.
himself
That
made the
is
comment.
very
So let's
okay.
try to
That's
just
very
quickly
unique. Let's have a
wrap through
look
the
at that.
game.
Yes. Okay.
Afnan was black, who was leading the top board, and Ryan was just an 800.
Okay. Do you think this result would change the leaderboard now that number two is actually catching up? He's 32 points, if I remember.
Yes,
With
and he
the
has been
yes,
unstoppable till now. Like whoever has came, but then again we see Iban is taking on Ryan, the kid who made the comment who defeated
oh,
number one. I
okay.
think
Yeah,
that game
he
should get featured for now
for sure. Yeah, I think
because
Ryan
he
has
has already
doing
defeated the tabletop,
yes,
and I'm really willing
true.
to see how this game is going to work out. There is a
Yes.
threat of a
Okay,
pin at some point, I guess.
that is true.
Wait,
Okay,
okay.
the
I think
queen's
Iban.
gone. Yeah,
No, but like
yes.
you can catch it up.
Iran is
Yeah, I
now
mean you're a
there's
queen up, so that
bishop
doesn't changes
f4,
anything
and
for real.
that is true.
Rook
That's true.
d8. Okay, what has just happened? Let's roll back and quickly try to go through the overall position.
Sure.
White had a two pawn center, and there was like
Okay.
the perk defense in the position.
Yes.
Generally,
True.
we see Austrian kind of setups here, or sometimes
Yeah.
we see a quick bishop g5,
Yes,
the
so
pawn
there are two
variation.
setups here which they can play. One is f4,
Yes,
like you said, the Austrian attack. The other setup is usually to play bishop e3, queen d2, castle queenside, and then go with f3, g4, h4, and start attacking
pawn
on the
storm, yeah.
king side. Yes,
But
these
also
are the
there's
two
burn
approaches.
variation, right, which goes after bishop
Yes,
g5 and then
bishop
g4.
g5 too. I'm not sure it
Yeah.
comes after bishop d3 though. Does it? I thought that they
Um,
usually
I
play
didn't
bishop
remember
g5
that theory
directly.
much, but yeah, I've seen
Yes.
players doing it. Also, yeah,
Yes, all are
again,
popular approaches. So
that's correct. And maybe we have seen Iban playing, and he's good at theory, so he might pick up one of those. So we never know.
that's true. He already got a very significant advantage out of the opening.
I
So
think the leaderboard has already took a turn by this point.
probably. And I believe the game is
Yes,
also over.
game
So
is over. So let's
after,
just see. Just
yes.
I think we already saw how. So there were like queenside castles on both sides, and we generally recommend kids to get their king in to not have the weakness after long castle. But
Yes,
let's see.
true.
And Iban exploited the pin pretty well. There was no need to
Yes,
take back, and that caused the whole problem for him.
it's true.
I think tactically he outplayed again.
Yes,
Yeah,
and then
and
checkmate threat is coming.
okay, tough
Yes,
time for
I
Ryan,
think
but yeah,
nevertheless, Ryan played a vital role in the decider of the tournament. He defeated
because he
Afnan and
defeated
he
number
lost
one.
to
Yeah,
yes,
and he
exactly.
lost to Iban. So I think his role was quite huge in changing the overall
True.
leaderboard. I
He
mean,
also is
the
finishing
score.
third, I guess. Okay, we still can't
Yeah.
say
Oh,
it's a bit too
Ryan,
soon.
a 900 kid is coming third. I mean, that's not
Yes,
a bad
that is
number to end when you are like a 900, right?
that's
That's a
true. That's true.
good
Quite
number.
impressive. I don't see any
Yes.
three-digit ratings in the
I
top 10
genuinely
itself.
want to see if Afnan and Iban get paired.
Yeah.
Okay, they both
So
are paired again. Again, I would like to see Afnan if like he can score and come back or something. Because 5 minutes are again there.
okay, so Afnan is white
Afnan
or
is
black.
white here. Arav is black. And he's
Okay.
threatening Rook G1, but White is trying to like not. White
Okay,
is
I
White
think
trying to
Afnan
win
is
like a
black
draw.
actually. Afnan is
Afnan is
black.
black, yeah.
So
He's a
yes.
piece
So
down,
okay.
but okay, he can create a pass.
Okay,
Anyways,
it's not very easy to win the game in case he trades the H pawn for the G pawn, because rook and knight versus rook is almost like a draw. It's quite
yes,
difficult to
that will lead
convert it.
to a draw. Again, if
Yes,
Rook gets exchanged, then something can happen. But I don't see any chances of that either.
true.
Also, Afnan is in the time pressure, right? The kid is like having 35 seconds.
Yes,
Okay, the rooks are off the
true.
board, and the
Yeah, I
black king is
think
marching towards the
yes.
H.
Okay, but I think
I
Afnan
think
needs to win the game to, okay,
we
is
never
it going
know.
to be a
You need
win?
to be
Okay.
very good with the end game to, okay, double pawns.
Oh, I would have taken with the king actually. The rook pawn
Exactly.
is probably draw. Yeah, this is a dead draw. There's
If
nothing
you
you
would
can do
have,
about it.
separate passers, it would have made the difference. But double passes, I think your game is off now. I think this
Yes,
is an
true.
end game mistake that Afnan made. But again, he's in the time pressure, so no more comments on that, I guess.
Yes,
Uh,
true.
that because time can play a
Actually,
big role.
yeah,
Yeah.
one strategy for white would be to move the knight all the way around the board and flag down Afnan. Not very sportsmanship, but it's possible.
Oh.
So I'm not
But
sure what was.
kids might do anything to win. We never know. It's a tournament at the end.
That's true.
So
Theoretically, this
I
could be
mean,
a
we don't
draw,
teach
but
our kids that definitely, but again, if can that can
yes,
change leaderboards, so we never know.
yes,
Because
true.
yeah, I mean, white can do anything to win, right?
Yeah, yeah, true.
That's also the
So
thing. It's
yes,
at the end, it's a war, and yeah.
yes.
What is
I
black
think there's
trying
a
to do?
good draw for a draw actually by
I think it's
perpetual.
leading to a three-fold sort of position for
Yeah,
me, I guess.
exactly. Yeah, now it's a
So
threefold, I believe, right? Yeah,
threefold,
this is a
yes.
three.
So
If you wanted to
Afnan,
win, you could
now
have gone
it's
all the way to the other corner. But
yeah.
anyway, but I think
Anyways,
it's a
yeah,
fair result. Yes.
yes,
So
and then
Ryan won the next two games. How did he finish two games very quickly? Okay,
not
that's
very sure about that. Okay, one game
oh okay.
opponent didn't
One
made a
was
move,
okay.
and in other one I think he has like got the queen out and black has lost the queen.
Okay,
Okay,
let's
he's
do
taking
it.
on Levinish right now. Even
Yes.
Ryan is not behind. Like at 900 or something, the kid is playing amazing. Like I'm not seen
Yes.
play even Sonic Knight like a 900 and he's showing like a very good strength here.
Oh, he's a
When
new
there are
addition to
kids
the
with
top
some
10. Yes, this is good.
yeah.
So a lot of low
Where in the
rated players are
last two
showing
minutes,
up.
Iban has like already made his lead 11 games and he ended up with the streak of winning 11 games in a row. So
Okay.
no way now
Oh,
the
he also
leaderboard is
defeated a
changing.
1900. If you look at it, I didn't know a 1900 was playing in the tournament. The
Yes, I think
GRX
Sankeet
Century.
was there
Yes.
and Iban outplayed. But I think only 2 minutes are remaining. So we need to see
Yeah.
a game that can actually change. Like fourth, fifth, and sixth all have the same points. Anyone who finishes in time can.
Oh,
Okay,
there is
Livenish is taking
Ryan.
on Rian. Let's take their game.
Yes.
I mean,
Okay.
number three versus number six. Why not?
Okay.
Okay.
I think if
So
number
again,
6 wins, he could go to number 3 because
number
Ryan
yeah
was in number 22 points, if I remember, and
yeah yes
Livnish was in 18 points, I guess, right?
yeah.
Okay,
So number four can be outplayed here if Livenish wins in time. But only one
sure.
minute and 20 seconds are remaining in the clock right now.
Hmm.
Okay. So when we look at this position, both are a bit undeveloped. White hasn't castled. White is planning to probably castle on the queen side, but that's not a thing anymore.
Yes. I
I
noticed a
think
funny move. Actually, knight takes b2, but it doesn't work. Knight takes b2, he'll just play bishop takes bishop. So he can play bishop takes
yes,
bishop. He's not forced to take the knight. So
yes, that's true. But yeah, I mean, so I think one of the main ideas for the black here is to break the position with c5 because this is
yes,
pressing a lot of. This is completely pressing the position right now.
yes. c5 would be nice.
Yeah.
After context. Okay, f5.
F5. Okay, this is a tricky move actually because en passant can always turn the things. But again, I think there's an
Actually,
open file. That,
I don't prefer en passant. That pawn was quite deadly, you know.
yes,
So
it
he
was
plays
gaining like a
pawn
lot of
takes.
space, right? And it was
Hmm,
actually preventing a lot of black pieces from coming
true.
forward.
Yes. So
Even I
after
certainly
pawn
believe.
takes pawn, I would have played pawn takes pawn itself because it will restrict the knight from jumping to g5 or
To
e5, and I could
E5,
play
yeah.
rook e8, pawn to c6, and I will slowly progress the position. And black
That's
seems to
correct.
be very comfortable. So okay,
Yeah.
let's continue
Now
with
again,
Ryan.
if you release the tension, your opponent piece is going to improve, which is the rook in this case. Again, you have 95, obviously.
Yes, true.
Also taking
Oh
with this
wait,
e pawn as its own advantage of attacking the centralized king at some point.
true, exactly. It just
So
feels
that's a
like
very
the
good
pieces are
suggestion.
more harmonious. They are all
Yes.
connected and okay. Still not easy. Oh, okay. The rook looks a
Taking with
little
the
bit absurd, but I think right. Somehow black's pieces are not coordinating very well. The bishop
yes.
is being blocked by the rook. He self-trapped the rook after knight c6 as well. Try could have been rook b6, even if I'm not very happy with rook b6. Yeah, but I
Rook
mean he
b6
should.
doesn't look the best option, but then again, at
Yeah,
least it
I
will
mean
be
there's
on a board
nothing
within the
else which I
square.
can see. Yeah, exactly. So
Definitely.
okay, I
I
think
mean,
queen
what else
g8
can you
has
think
some
of?
potential. Queen G8, Bishop D7, Rook F8. Somehow I think Black is trying to bring the pieces into the game. I mean, from what Black has, that is probably one of the best things to do. Okay. Also,
I
I
think
think we
this
are
is
ignoring
not
the
looking
fact
good
that
for Black.
yeah, he can play knight takes d5, but that's the least of Black's worries right now. The d5 pawn.
Yes.
No, White can take
Oh,
d5 pawn.
wait. Okay.
White, yes,
White is going to take on d5. I
yes. It
understood.
was hanging
So
for quite a
again,
while.
yes, they are attacking, but they are not coming and picking it up. Because taking this pawn also enables you to play that knight back first at some point and try to get a fork.
True, true. Okay, actually, I was wondering knight takes pawn and knight f4 and the rook is trapped. So
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
yeah,
Knight to f4.
f4.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, and then it'll be trapped. The rook is
That's
just
true.
yes. Okay, now rook g1 and okay.
I think White is having a
Chances
very comfortable
for
position from
yeah,
here.
the chances for Ryan to win the game is tough. But I think the tournament ended. If you look at the timer, it shows
Oh
0-0.
yes, that is
So the game
true.
is over,
I mean, we
which
got
means
lost in the game
Ryan
anyways.
managed to hold the game. Yes, which is he is
Yes.
finishing with second place.
Actually, he deserves because being at he started like I remember at the start of the game tournament he was like an 800. By the point he finished, he got a good buff in his elo as well, and plus finishing in top three is never an easy deal for
Okay,
a kid
that's
at
well
that
deserved.
elo.
I think
Yeah.
he could easily be 1100 or 1200 too,
Yes.
considering the field
Given
of
the
players
fact.
he played against, got a good score
Yeah.
against. So this is good. Very nice.
So yeah, the
So
tournament has already concluded with Gregory on the 10th position, 16 points, Artvik on the 9th with 16 points, Vaishnavi on the 8th with 16 points, Sonic Knight on the 7th with 17 points, Livinish on the 6th with 18 points, Shahches on the 5th with 18 points, Fardan on the 4th with 18 points, second runner-up Ryan with 22 points, first runner-up Afnan on the second position with 35 points, and he has the win rate of 67%. And the boss of the tournament, Iban, winning 11 games in a row and a whooping super win rate of 100% here. So we congratulate to all the winners for fantastically performing in this tournament. We congratulate to all the participants as well for gaining experience. Your coaches will help you to get better. Thank you so much, Coach Muskan and Rajesh, for tuning in and making this eve wonderful. The stage is yours. If you have something you can share with us.
sure, it was a wonderful tournament. I think the players are getting quite stronger compared to before. They are playing better attacking chess. Maybe their defensive skills need some bit of work, but I think they are getting there. They are having wonderful attacking plans. I remember seeing one game with the white pieces where one player was bringing all the pieces, the rooks to the open file. He also avoided the back rank mates, but he was only
Yeah,
1100.
the Arna,
Yes,
yeah, 1100
yes.
at
So that's very impressive play, and I think they're all
yeah,
getting stronger. I would say kudos
yes.
for the
I think
coaches
these are
who
all
are
those
training them.
future champions,
Yes,
right?
yes, true,
Definitely.
definitely. Okay,
All
so
right.
that's it.
So perfect. I mean, viewers, if you liked our work, please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you are able to see the hype button, please click below the. You can hype up 3 videos in a week on the YouTube. Your hype will help us to grow this channel further. Thank you so much for tuning in and making this evening a wonderful time for all of us. Take care, bye, and have a great time.
Bye bye.
Yes.